we know why people initially chose a ULA, but why has Oracle created this product? What's in it for Oracle? If I could get your thoughts on that, Mark B, to begin with.
Sure, thanks, Dan. Oracle love ULAs, I have to say. I mean, if they could sell any licensing agreement going forward from today, it's a ULA every time. And the reason they love it is a number of things. First off, it's revenue lock-in. It guarantees revenues for a period of time, typically 3 to 5 years on a ULA. So from that perspective, it's nice financially for them to lock in revenues for a fixed period of term. Of course, they like it. Their, Oracle CFO like it. Their stockholders like it. You can revenue recognize that over a period of time, and you don't have to do too much to actually earn it once it's signed up for that 3 or 5 years. And of course, during those 3 or 5 years of the term, it's also a great vehicle for clients to use more and more and more Oracle licenses. They're encouraged to. It's unlimited. So, just spin them out, deploy them, try things out, try different projects with databases, whatever it is. You've got unlimited use, you might as well. So Oracle love the fact you get guaranteed revenues, that they get guaranteed revenues. They love the fact that it encourages wider deployment. And clearly in that wider deployment could be competitive knockout. So if you've got a lot of databases with SAP, S4HANA, or if you've got Microsoft SQL, SQL, it's a potential way that they can try and leverage those databases out, replace them with Oracle's product, or whatever else is in the stack. So guaranteed revenues and competitive knockout. But also another big thing that this ULA does, and there's 2 more. One is competitive lockout, and one is it restricts clients' options to save money and flexibility during the term. So the competitive lockout's important because if they get you on an unlimited license agreement, it's unlikely you're going to go to any other vendor during that term to buy similar sort of products you're going to pay extra money for. They're just going to say, look, you've got an unlimited pot here. Just use more Oracle. Just keep using Oracle. So to a degree, it locks out competition for the period. Now, if you're all in with Oracle for the product set that you're on, database or applications, whatever it may be, that's fine. You're not looking elsewhere. But if you did want to consider your options, then the ULA kind of precludes that and excludes that. So it's kind of restrictive from that regard. It's also restrictive, to my 4th point, is it's also restricted in the sense that if you want to look at alternate support mechanisms, for example, third-party support, you're locked out of that during the ULA because it's a bundled agreement and you can't take chunks out of it. It's all or nothing. You're in for the ULA term. So Oracle like that because they've seen some of their revenues eroded over the years, and quite a lot of their revenues eroded over the years actually to third-party support suppliers for many of the right reasons, let alone save money. But if you can lock a client into a ULA, you lock out third-party support for that period of time. Now that's good for Oracle, of course it is, but it's taking away an option from customers. And look at the world we live in today and the pandemic that's running around. I know we're going to talk about it later, but if you want to save money, suddenly one of your options is off the table in a ULA. Mark, did you want to add anything to that?
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I think the other thing that we haven't mentioned yet is Oracle ULAs are a fantastic vehicle for Oracle. Basically, and we'll explain in a bit more detail later on, but it locks you in for many more years than the 3 years typically. So the typical client doesn't get a fantastic deal because they don't deliver projects that they thought they were going to deliver and get 150 CPU price licenses for the price of 50. What in the real world happens is they generally don't do that, and I won't spoil the story to come because it's quite detailed. But Oracle get a massive amount of revenues from ULAs and far more than you would think. So, and we'll explain how that works a little bit later on.